Greetings, my friends. I'm Andrea, astrologer, and welcome to this new weekly update for February for markets in general, and we refer to Bitcoin as well, to crypto, for the period from February 17th to February 23rd. It is an important week because we do have, and I'm not so happy to give you bad news, but we have other negative transits in the Bitcoin chart for now, and these are long term, and the second one is very subtle. It will be active actually the whole year. And the ones who have the report, I think they are not so surprised because they know there are two key dates. One is 17th of February and the other is on the 25th of February. The end of the week will be quite interesting, and also the beginning, it seems. I would like to give you a heads up also for the end of the week, despite of the fact that 24th and 25th, which are days of big action, really happen only for the other week. So it would be rather part of the other update, but I think it's important to be warned beforehand. And it's not about scaring you, but it's about really having due diligence. You need to see the TA, you know that astrology is not everything, but just to be really aware of these possibilities. So I would like to talk, like usual, about the state in the market, so the global astrology, and then I would like to go into Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, and the gold and silver index XAU. I want to say that we prepare already the forecast for March, and March is a very important month astrologically with two eclipses. We have Venus, the planet of cryptocurrency, and also Mercury, the planet of trading, both going retrograde. And this will be an important month, maybe one of the most important with high energy. If you want to join, you find already all these reports. I think they will be delivered, at least the baseline for the blue chips already, and you can really find them in every tier you join. You can join using the link Patreon subscription, which is in the description of this video. Some people asked me, so this is what I give to the members, also the detailed updates for Bitcoin and Ethereum and the other blue chips. And now I would like to go into the topics. Let's start with the global astrology, which is very interesting, I would say, and I want to give a summary, and then I would really go into each and every day. It's important that I cover it, and I will read because there are many influences again, and it is what it is. So Bitcoin is not stable, and we see this consolidation that it's running into from roughly 90-91 to 100-102. So it's like in this time frame, in this time interval, actually we had a lot of up and downs in this price interval in the end, and this is what happens, and it's likely to change a bit, but still I would say that this climate of instability will persist, and this is due to the fact that we don't have a long-term planet, long-term transit really that would be supported by the chart, the Bitcoin chart, which is activated right now. It's more about the quicker moves, and the advantage is that we can make money fast, but we can lose money also fast. So it's also a matter of global liquidity, which is quite low at the moment. So we need to take all the considerations, geopolitical, also the politics, the new administration in the US and everything in order to really know when to enter and when to exit. And of course you need a TA. Astrology cannot really solve it, but will really help you towards that with a future perspective. And therefore I'm quite detailed. Otherwise, if you remember my other videos, I was not so, deep into each and every day, and this is the global astrology only, but that you have the Bitcoin on top that I don't discuss here publicly, but in the membership as a part of the offering. So this is really a complex, so it's complex to analyze. Therefore, it's very difficult to say there is bullish or bearish. It's not really. I mean, I had also one day, because I talked about this range. In one day, I tracked really the difference between the high and the low of 11K, over 11K in for BTC USD. So it's really a roller coaster, and in between it went up and down. So the open and the close, you know, it's quite a lottery to get them right, but you can have at least one or maybe multiple changes of directions in the day, so to speak. So it's complex. And this being said, therefore I go into the details, and I would like to do that with the global astrology, which is, again, it's half of the picture. It's like, you know, the weather, I call it the weather calendar, what we do have for members, and this is about weather for, you know, so normal one, but it's also how Bitcoin dresses up. So this is the other part. What is the fashion style each day, and what is finally the result, good or bad? Is it really in line with the weather, or it's not? This is the question. I mean, that would be a very simple analogy, easy to understand, that yes, weather is not everything, but weather really dictates the whole market, not only Bitcoin. Therefore, I'm going into this. So February 17th, we do have important transits in the Bitcoin chart. It's also a negative one. Stay until the end of this video because I want to go into it a bit and to give you more details. And that would be for Bitcoin. For the global astrology, we do not have a specific transit exact on this date at day level. Of course, we do have many moon-related transits, which are very important for Bitcoin at the moment. And I would say from this perspective, it would be too long to go into the moon-related transits. The ones interested in such details can purchase the BTC hour by hour for the current week. But the idea is that I want to give you a sort of summary for Monday and Tuesday, where we do not have a day level aspect for the global astrology. And I would say that Monday has a positive aspect from the moon, at least, and we will have, this is active for a few hours during the day. And we have also on Tuesday a mix of aspects, I would say, positive and negative. So it would be maybe more sideways, and of course we will have also important transits for Bitcoin. On Wednesday we do have also a day where we do not have a fixed aspect at the day level, but it is important because we will have volatility, and the moon will trine. This is a positive aspect, Mars, which is out of bounds, and therefore we can experience a big price movement upwards. I would say that overall it would be a positive day, especially in the first part of the day UTC, with the possibility to have some fire dump, so a sudden dump, which is enabled by the global astrology in the evening UTC, and I talk about really around midnight, something like that, so it's quite late. And we do have Thursday, which is the first day in the week with a day level aspect, which is Mercury square Jupiter, which is also a negative aspect, but it's low intensity. Nevertheless, it will affect Bitcoin because Mercury is in high focus in the horoscope at the moment. And this really shows the possibility to have a dump during the day. So this would be the the main landscape, but we do have also positive aspects from the moon. Here I cannot really go into all the aspects of the moon. Like I mentioned, I tell you the essential, what would be really predominant, because you see how it goes. It's quite up and down. And the same goes for Friday. We have no aspect at the day level, and here for Friday, what can I tell you? It is a mix of positive and negative aspects from the moon in the global astrology, and we will have more negative energy than positive in this setup, so to speak, for Friday. It's a sort of mixed day. So I don't think it will be so lucrative in the end of the week. Could run really easily in a consolidation on the 22nd. Or it could be that we will have the danger of the dump. We will talk about it as well. And now we do have on the 22nd, which is a Saturday in the UTC time zone, so nothing there in terms of day level. And the aspects of the moon that we have in the global astrology are also negative for the day. Then on Sunday, which is really the last day, so it's a very powerful day, I would say, that would influence actually the whole week in a way, but unfortunately with a mix, so it's not entirely positive, let's say so. We have a Neptune-Rahu conjunction on Sunday, which is really about I would say expectations that are not fulfilled. So it could be big disappointment in the markets, but it could be also, oh, I chase my dreams. So it is a conjunction that can go actually both ways. But in finance, at least from the stock market and what I really saw so far, it's not a positive one. But we might be surprised. So I do not know. I would be cautious. But we have also positive energy on the day. It is in the global astrology again. Mercury trine Mars. Mars is out of bounds. So everything which is with Mars out of bounds is very important at the moment and can trigger high volatility. It's not stable with such a Mars, and Mercury is really the trading activity which will pick up, so to speak. So I think what will be powerful will be Monday, or we can see some dumps already on the 21st on Friday. Also, I doubt it. So I think it will happen on Monday the next week. And I would like to talk also about the transit on the 25th, and this is really the other week, I know, and it is an energy that is also very important for Bitcoin. It's a Pluto conjunct Mercury. So I would like to talk about these two right now to give you a perspective, because they are long-term transits. So not necessarily on the day something would dump, but I see really red that weekend, so it could happen on the 24th. So if I go to the first transit, this is on the 17th of February, the week we talk now. This is a Saturn conjunct Uranus. It is a flash sort of dump that is promised, but Saturn is slow in a way, so it will happen maybe progressively, step by step. It won't come in one shot, so to speak, and this is possible, a possible message, because we do have a set of negative aspects in this week, especially at the end. I told you, so I would be cautious for the 22nd, 23rd, despite it, of the fact that it's a weekend. It can even happen at weekend, the dump, like we saw also last time, beginning of February, maybe some news. It is possible that it will trigger that. The Saturn will also stop a bit the volatility. It will decrease it, because Uranus is really a symbol for more volatility in the Bitcoin chart, and it will be, so these are really related to Bitcoin. I think it's very important to know about them, and it could be that the dumps will not be recovered, so fast as we are used to. So this is what I see for the week as possible. And yes, again, this is long running. So each day is important, even the hourly aspect, because the moon is also highlighted in the Bitcoin chart, which means that it's important to see what happens if you want to really swing trade. Otherwise, this can really take you by surprise. But somehow Saturn suggests a sort of discipline strategy of dumping. So as we see the price action, we will be able to see some pattern. Hopefully, this is the message. But look at the 1H chart regardless. Even if you want a trade for several days, I think it's mandatory to look at the 1 hour chart. Then we do have the other big and negative influence that is on the 25th, which is a Pluto conjunct Mercury. And this is a very bad news because Mercury is strongly activated, so it will affect Bitcoin. But the good news is that it is subtle in general. So Pluto will not really kill it unless we have many other aspects that are really against Bitcoin. And we have for some days, but we don't have another big aspect that is very persistent. Still, we have this at a distance of 8 days. So the one with Saturn is exact on the 17th of February, and the other one with Pluto on the 25th of February. I have the impression that they are anyway active since the beginning of February, even from January actually. It's a subtle influence that is active. So it is also possible that what was worse is over. I hope that, but I think we will still get a dump. If we don't get it in this week, from the 17th to the 23rd, we will get it in the next or in the end of the week, due to the fact that on the 24th of February, also Mars will become stationary. It's stationary and out of bounds. What do you want more? So it's also about the fact that we might experience here some delays also in the detailed price action, but it won't be like in the other case because Mercury will be stationary for 3 days. Mars, sorry, it's not a big planet, so to speak. So it's another game here. It will take speed much faster, but it will be nevertheless negative energy at the end of the week. I don't think we can really escape it, to be honest. So be very prepared for that, I would say. Yes, it will be volatile, but volatility will be also calmed down by Saturn for a while, because this Saturn is also like at least a 6 month aspect, 6 months influence with this aspect. So it's like a potent aspect that we talk about, but we feel it actually already since a few months, and it is also a ray of hope, so to speak, here, because we do have Saturn as a lucky planet for Bitcoin, and this is very important. So I would say that maybe we won't get such big dumps. I really hope that we will be able to keep the 90k level, but we will see. Everything can happen with this, and this is a heads up for the beginning of the next week as well. Thank you so much for your attention, for your support, for liking and subscribing. It helps the channel. I'm grateful for that. And until next time, be joyful. See you. My dear Patreon and Telegram members, welcome to this update for the week that is from February 17th to February 23rd. I think you heard already the big picture in the introduction for Bitcoin. That would be really a week of caution that I advise. It is not the best news, but be aware of that. I will go into the calendars as well, but these are long-term transits. It is at the beginning of the week and at the beginning of the next week. They are both long-term transits. So it is really the whole landscape of the week, which is quite negative. We need to be aware of that. So please have this in mind above all else. And now let's go a bit into the calendars. So this is the week at a glance. It's not a disaster, but I think we can profit off the positive energy only short term. And because we do have also the moon aspects during the day, which are very important, and you have here only a few of them, so not all details by all means, it will be difficult to navigate, even swing trades in my opinion. But if you really watch it each and every hour, then you can make it, I think. So we do have this long-term transit, which is bigger, and I will put again the cheat sheet for the newcomers. Have a look at that, have it handy, and it will be there for you to download it. And this is at day level, it's still positive, so it won't be maybe such a big dump. It could be bigger if we won't have the positive day level energy. And again, this could happen also in the weekend, so I do not exclude this possibility. Also, I told you I doubt it. Why? Because I do have here also positive energy at day level, and despite of the negative and the importance here and also the fire, I think it will happen only the next week, or we see something also before. And it is really a opportunity, to do something maybe on Tuesday and Wednesday. Again, these are UTC time zone where you see that 18th is strong. It has also strong positive energy, and 19th is less, but we have a Bitcoin fire, which is really going upwards, but a volatile day. So here maybe you can catch something if TA on the shorter time frame again confirms it and you are comfortable with that. And on Friday we do have a green day, which is low intensity green, and 20th is neutral, so the gray is neutral, so nothing is active at day level except in the Bitcoin horoscope. And 22nd, 23rd, so the weekend, 22nd is depicted in red here with a red fire at Bitcoin level, and 23rd is here also with red influences. But it's important to take into account the fact that we do have this negative energy next week, and this is such a long-term aspect. So in combination with Mars turning direct, we might have here some surprises. So because of these red days here as well, therefore I advise caution actually for the whole week. Please be attentive. It is your choice if you dare to do something, and the possibility to run into consolidation is also there. I don't exclude it, especially here with this one, because it's like a subtle influence and it might not really manifest so heavily, and we will see 24th and 26th really dumping, and yes, we will have recovery. So it will be like, it looks like a bear trap or something like that, or a bull trap, how you want to play it out, but I think it will be really up and down. So recovery, I still think it will be there, because Bitcoin, as I mentioned, is focused on the short term rather than the long term, but the long term would affect it. So here, this is the most dangerous region actually next week, but we can see something also on the weekend. Therefore, I'm saying it, and it's important to be warned. Thank you so much for your attention. Let's go into ETH. Ethereum, as you see, I would say it is quite similar to Bitcoin, but we have some positive aspects distributed a bit later in the week, and 18th looks really red, and this is opposite to what we see in the Bitcoin chart. It's not a strong week, it's a lot of neutral days, and because it's still correlated with BTC, I don't see Ethereum very well this week, but we we could have also some recovery on the 19th and the 21st, unless we don't get the dumps a bit earlier. So it's important to take that into account, and this will be really relevant for altcoins as well. The altcoins, the blue chips, actually, I do think they suffer, as you can see, but we will see recovery in those where there are bullish influences. I think if Bitcoin and Ethereum are quite dangerous to consider, I would say that altcoins are even more dangerous. If you go on shorting them, if you are clear that it will go bearish on some days, maybe short term, you can do something, but otherwise I would not really recommend something for the week in regards to altcoins, blue chip or otherwise. Thank you. But before I go into XAU, I want to say that I took very seriously your feedback with the altcoins that we know they are in a critical situation, some of them, and people writing everywhere, oh, I'm 50% down and so on. It is still a point of concern to navigate this difficult period for the planets with low liquidity. It's no money. So if you have a very limited amount of money, where do you put it? You would put it in the assets that are the most lucrative, and you put here and there a little bit, where is, not so much hope if you really put something there. Therefore, I think it is very important to see what is the market cap of the altcoin you consider, and if you consider it, to be very sure what you do, to have a very strong TA and to really go out in 2-3 days. We see this pattern. I want to share this with you for AIXBT, AI16Z, if Ava AI. So these are the ones that I followed a bit. You can see it in Toshi as well, so on the meme side, but it's like a play that is very, very short. So it's like something that you can consider only for a few days, I would say. And therefore, again, I don't go into altcoins right now, but for now, I will really stop the recommended part with the 3 that are really high level, and I will put 5 of them, but really go into details with all the influences that we have with Venus, Mercury, and all other planets, because we see that this matters a lot. So even a Jupiter would not do too much if we have other negative influences at day level nowadays. So you voted. Thank you so much for that. Most of you agree to that. So I assume this is, what you want, and this is the decision I take. I filmed this on the 13th of February, just for the record. So starting March, you will see the report, the gold tier and the platinum tier. It will be the same format for you, so nothing will change to the format, but I consider the altcoins that are really astrologically very well, with a very well set up, so to speak, at least astrologically. Now it is up to you to follow those projects, and thank you also for the input that I got. Certainly I will check some. There are too many, I cannot check all of them, and some of them are super exotic. So on the risk curve, let's be also a bit risk averse nowadays, because I think it matters. We see how markets are. Thank you, and now let's go into XAU. XAU. This is an index for both gold and silver, and despite of the fact that the astrology was not really much, it looked quite, very ordinary. You know that gold really climbed. I think it's also about the fear, but it's also about this aspect on the 20th, which is already active. So such an aspect, when you see this font size, it's active actually for the whole month, and of course the price will be higher if we we have also at day level a positive aspect and the days around it. I mean, this would be really the second week, the third week, and the fourth week of February. And this is basically a good news, I would say, but it's also, bad because markets are how they are. People are fearful. It's still unsure times. So gold is the safe haven that people run into that. So I think the trend will really, persist. It could slow down, but if I see also this long-term aspects on the 18th, you can see it, and on the 24th next week. And I just talked about the Bitcoin. So if you look only at XAU, because I know some of you are only into indices, then just to know that Bitcoin is also with bad transits on the 17th and the 25th for Bitcoin. So just really very close to this time frame. So it's quite possible that something happens globally, some market reaction to something, because there is this correlation. But the good news is that it would recover. At least gold has also a positive aspect, this XAU index on the 26th. So you can say that whatever happens here, the drops would be diminished and the recovery will be very fast. This is how I see it in the end of February. And I know that, maybe everything sounds like doom and gloom, but it's not really so, because I would see really recovery, from the last part of February, the last days. Now recovery from where? It depends how much it will dump. And we will have, I talk about all markets here in general. In March, I do think there is still mixed energy in many regards, but the eclipses are powerful and we have very powerful conjunctions, and these are really positive. A lot of them are positive, and I will provide more details about them in the monthly video for March, and this will be shared with you actually very, very soon. So now mid-February I will share all the videos that are important for March, the eclipses at least, and the general overview video. The Venus retrograde will come a bit later, and also Neptune is a long-term transit, the tropical Aries, but still very important for us, and this will be published also very soon. I aim for next week. Thank you so much for your attention, for your support, for the time invested in this, and I wish you a very successful week. Be calm, and sometimes in risk management is, at least I tell from my experience, especially lately, that it is better not to trade on some days, especially if you see things are not well, to check this with yourself, and also to check the horoscopes for the assets. Thank you again, and see you next week.